Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to this guided Reiki meditation for the spring equinox if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And it is actually for kind of geared towards the Northern Hemisphere, but not to leave out the Southern Hemisphere. Perhaps these messages of the spring equinox will also be good for you as well in your spiritual journey and self healing today. So, again, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Tracy Lynn. I am a Reiki Master, and I do these 30 minutes or so now guided meditations on special times during the year when I feel inspired to do this kind of healing work. And yeah, and it is also open to all, those with or without Reiki attunements and classes, which are very important, I have to say. But, during the COVID lockdown, I was inspired by guides to share this Reiki. It's called a Reiki circle technique, the ripple effect of healing with the public to help with healing at that time. And a great vehicle for that, was doing it through, like YouTube and other social media outlets, some which shall not be named right now. But how you would do this 30-minute video, guided meditation, is you'll find a nice quiet place and take your get your the technology, kind of turn off alerts and everything if you can for this 30-minute time for you for this healing. And also you can either be position wise, you can be seated, you can be lying down listening to this. And the music is the Malte Marten, I believe. It's the Handpan. It's a little different today, but I listen to this music often. And so I wanted to share this, which is also really wonderful. But in the 30-minute meditation, so you'll be either seated or lying down, listening to your body without distractions for 30 minutes. Let's see if we can do that, right? I had to turn my phone off to do that. Otherwise, you get alerts all day, which keeps you in a constant state of alert. So that being said, and then in the ripple effect of healing, again, I'll explain. It's the bringing in the energy for the protected space, Reiki and or golden healing light. My spiritual guides, your spiritual guides. This is a co-creation. That's very important. And then we do a self-healing. I send you a distant energy healing. And then at the end, we focus towards the altar space. And that is for community healing for all of the things that we're talking about for spring equinox. And I hadn't really, it was this morning at 7:34 Pacific time AM. I'm in the Pacific time in the United States. So it's a little bit late. But I was thinking to do it tomorrow, so it would have been even more late. Usually, well, let's see. I have a kind of theme. I write down notes and I have gone back and forth about what the kind of theme is going to be for the spring equinox. Because we'll kind of usually focus on a single word, but maybe what I'll do is I'll do the talk and then I'll get that word. Yeah, so because not to recycle things from the past, but this is a new meditation. So, talking about the spring equinox, I think I have to show this wonderful goddess art that I had created with a community. And this is, and I don't know much about this goddess, but it's Inanna, a Sumerian goddess, a matriarchal religion before the patriarchal religion and patriarchal times that we're living in now. But kind of like the myths and that we would know in the West, we're from this tradition. But how I met with her, was like, the winter happens and then the spring. And so what I mean by winter? A lot of times we associate winter with, difficulties and hardships, a time for going inwards, even times of survival. Where I am now, the weather has been incredibly warm, but I know in other places there's a lot of snow currently. So, that's a little bit different. But by tomorrow, it will be cold here again, coldish for the Bay Area. But so the messages of the difficulties of winter and going inwards and not being able to look away, from these difficulties. And how that happens is by the going inward and not denying and not using this distraction of other technology. There are a lot of things that have come out. For example, difficulties like for me personally and in society, different kinds of abuse and abuse of power, leading to just an escalation of that. And so it seems like this is coming to light right now. So, in a way, it's like if you look at the seasons, the winter is going inwards, the spring equinox produces the kind of flowers and bulbs, and but you cannot look away from the difficulties. And by not looking away, and by doing this kind of work, then you create the blossoming, the fruits or something like that. But in this, this would be Inanna. What I saw, she is a lioness, and that's another symbol for her. And then she has a crown, but her descent into the kind of underworld, visiting her twin sisters, and I don't know. That story gets really there's a lot to it. But I saw that each one of these kind of jewels, and I want to think about it for us in this community, is that there are difficulties and hardships, and that happen over time, that are compressed to the point of a lot of pressure. And like a diamond, then it creates something like this. So there is this, and without the pressure, this doesn't exist. So that seems very emotional. So without the difficulties and without this inner work and inner growth, you don't have that. Okay, so that's an important part of the spring equinox message. And then also how these difficulties or hardships would create like a lackluster, difficult times where radiance is not shining. So this is a reminder to have that radiance internally, and then somewhat in the society level, turning a light on those situations that are not acceptable, those abuse situations, the sexual abuse, the power and bullying in the patriarchy that is happening now. So I'd like to give you that little message from Inanna. And if you have more information about her, that is wonderful. This was just my experience with her in creating that, my spiritual community. Okay, so what is the message going to be for the spring equinox? Well, if I say rejuvenation or renewal, it sounds a little bit superficial, but I think I'm going to say renewal. Okay. So now in your comfortable position, you're going to be seated or lying down. Bringing your hands to the heart position, slowing your heart. Oh, wow. I just realized I have 2 different earrings on. That's awesome. Okay. So I couldn't decide, I guess. That's how I'm feeling. Okay. So slowly close your eyes, center on your breathing, slowing down And now bringing in the Reiki guides, your spiritual guides and energy into this space to protect it. For the Spring Equinox meditation. Okay, now we brought the spiritual guides and assistants into the space. Now you can bring in the Reiki and or golden healing light. Like I said, you do not have to have the Reiki attunements, though I highly recommend them. Or golden healing light. So it begins at the top of your head. And then it floats down through the top of your head. Down to the throat area. Oh, I wanted to be emphasized. The heart center, floating through the arms, meeting at the hands in the heart position. Then down through the torso. The legs. Listening to your body, making yourself comfortable in your body. And then you're going to extend that energy to about 3 feet around you, beginning at the top again. Reiki and or golden healing light is filling in that space around you. This is part of your sovereignty, your personal spiritual sovereignty. This is your right. Okay, and down to the feet. And now make a grounding cord from the bottom of your tailbone. To where you're seated or lying down, then to the earth, where you're sitting, to the earth. Energetically into a deep place in the earth. Your own specific place. And then bring that grounded energy back through the cord. Through the feet, through the legs, floating up to just under the rib cage here, the solar plexus. Now having both of these energies commingle, that spiritual Reiki golden healing light energy and the earth energy. And notice how you feel. Okay, now this next step is the self-healing. And again, this is the Reiki technique. Like, which way do I want to do this? Okay, so hands on the top of the head. The energy is going to flow in to the heart through the arms and the top of the head. And allowing this energy of, what did I end up? A rejuvenation, okay? To flow into the body, then hands float down. As we know from, I've been a body worker for 30 years, very long time. Difficulties and challenges, trauma are stored in the body. And it is through these kind of practices that you can have healing from these experiences. And now to the heart center. And doing these guided meditations are wonderful for that. On these special times like the spring equinox. I believe the last video was for New Year's. Was it? Did I do Chinese New Year? I'm not really sure. And then hands on either side under the solar plexus or at the solar plexus. Right hand on the right side, left on the left. This is important. It's becoming aware of what is in the body. Not denial or escapism. That can happen, of course, with trauma and pain. So I just have two different earrings on. That's great. Hands at the hips, either side. Now you can bend forward. Bring the hands as far as you can, listening to your body. Maybe up the back. These are the adrenals. These are the stress areas of the body. Important to bring healing there. Healing for those things that happened in the difficult times, times of growth. In other words, I just got a reframing. This is how growth happens. Healing energy to the sacrum, hands on both sides. Hands to the hips. Hands to the knees. Perhaps there was a lot of inactivity as well during that time. Healing through movement, listening to your body, but allowing this Reiki and or golden healing light to flow in. And now you can bend forward to the calves, the ankles, the feet, however you feel comfortable. Again, if you're seated or lying down, listening to your body in whatever position. Fear. I just got fear. Fear will keep us from moving forward. There is a lot of fear due to what's going on right now. Okay, so now hands at the heart center. So now we did the self-healing. Okay, we brought in the energy, we did the self-healing, the ripple effect of healing. Now it's your turn. Okay, so in the same position that you feel comfortable, I'll be sending in that energy floating through. And then, oh, why is this pausing? Okay. Flowing to you now for the spring equinox, for healing that difficult time. Time that it's difficult to look at what's going on personally in the body. or the growth time. Just say it's the growth time. Healing and rejuvenation flows to you now. Just be open to receiving it. Reiki and or golden healing light flows to you for the spring equinox. Gently with the breath, healing fear and worry with this rejuvenation. Healing energy flows to you now. And if your mind or body goes to a past event or a future event, that's okay. You can bring your mind, your body, your breath back to the present moment to receive this wonderful healing now. Reiki and golden healing light is being sent to you now for rejuvenation. Healing this time of growth and healing, noticing where these wonderful gems are coming through hardship, through growth. Healing for you with that message earlier. Healing for your sovereignty, your spiritual sovereignty. In a time where people are trying to take away people's sovereignty, healing flows to you now. And just another minute or two. I'm going to bring my hands back to the heart position, disconnect from that part. Okay, now for the next step, I'm going to change to the altar, the beautiful altar with the flowers. Thank you, Louisa. And my flowers that get a little, they're challenged. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this here for the altar space. And we're going to focus the healing, this ripple effect of healing for the spring equinox, for the community, for this rejuvenation after difficulty, for healing of our sovereign rights when others try to oppress or bully. Remembering our light and rejuvenation. Healing energy flows through us now as a group in a co-creation in this Reiki circle today. Whenever you're watching this, healing energy flows now. through the solitude, through that time of growth, we can now direct that energy. Healing energy flows now for the community, for the spring equinox and the rejuvenation. The remembering of our power, our sovereign power from the inside. The healing, the gems, the inner gems of spiritual practice for us are healing. Healing energy flows now. Healing energy for the spring equinox and rejuvenation. And for the southern hemisphere, perhaps preparation for this time of growth. Healing energy flows through this group now. Healing energy flows now. Breathing in and then breathing out. Allowing the energy to flow through, not get stuck in one place. Of course, listening to your body if you need to adjust during this last part, the ripple effect of healing, that is fine. You can adjust and come back to the healing. You can even go back to working on yourself. Oh, that's interesting. I usually have it in one direction, but it can be in both directions. Healing at the micro level, healing at the macro level. Healing energy flows now. And just a couple more breaths from this group for the spring equinox and rejuvenation from that time of growth, from that time of feeling unempowered to empowerment, bringing light to those kinds of situations. And now you can pause and continue to send healing Reiki under golden healing light to the community, or you can bring your hands back to the heart position. Just connecting with that part of the healing. This is how energy and distance energy works. A couple deep breaths here. Become acquainted again with your grounding cord. Noticing how you feel. Okay, so I just want to thank you for being present, bringing your energy for yourself. This is profoundly healing at that time because this is your sovereign right. And then as you come out into the world around you, bringing this healing as well for the spring equinox and rejuvenation for this time. So if you do like this video, use it again whenever you may need it, or feel free to forward it to other people, subscribe. That is awfully wonderful. And then I will see you on the next video. My name is Tracy Lynn, and thank you.